Your beloved pet. Do they stay or do they go? Well, here this morning to talk about the holidays and our pets is Rachael Pridham from Clark's Pet Emporium. Hi, Rach.
Hi, Nikki.
Nice
How are you
to
doing?
have you here.
It's good.
And the holidays are like, how did this come about so fast? They're just around the corner, literally.
Yes.
And a lot of planning to do for the holidays when it comes to your pets.
Oh, for sure.
And a lot of things to consider. So why don't you tell us some of the things, if we are pet owners, what we should be thinking about as we start planning our travel?
Okay. A big thing is if you're planning on taking your pet on the airline. A lot of people don't think ahead about this, but especially since 9/11, airlines have gotten smaller. What you can carry on is a lot smaller. A lot of airlines don't allow much more than a shoebox size crate to bring your pet on. So definitely contact the airline you're going to take, and get them to give you specific dimensions.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Really good advice. I mean, every time I travel, I see people with their bags, their little bags, and I see the little holes in the bag, and I think, oh, there's definitely a little doggy in there. But there's so little. So, I mean, that's important, I guess, to get those dimensions.
Right.
And do you guys have the bags that you would be able to take with you? I mean, you would
Definitely.
be able to...
We have some soft carriers.
Okay, good.
And we have some smaller airline approved, just to give you an idea. We have a carrier right here. This would actually be too big for most airlines.
Yeah, I was going to say that wouldn't even fit in the overhead, would it?
Yeah, it's you know, and most people, if you have a dog, he's not much smaller than that.
Right. So checking the dimensions is really a key point. So you call your airline specifically, call them and say, here's the size of my dog. Can I allow this pet, or whatever your pet is, can I allow them on the plane?
Yeah.
Now, for traveling in the car, is this what you would do?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. For traveling in a car, especially if your dog is not used to traveling, a lot of times being in a smaller space makes them feel a little more secure.
Right.
Also, you know, try putting a T-shirt that you recently wore in there.
Really?
A lot of times just being close to your scent is really comforting to them.
I love that advice. I would never even think of that.
Yeah.
So just because it gives them that familiarity.
Right.
And it makes them feel, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of pets don't mind, they don't mind just being out in the open with their head out the window. I know that too.
Yeah.
So are there any precautions that you would tell people to take as far as traveling in the car with a dog or a cat or any of their pets?
Yeah,
if
definitely.
They're not in an enclosed space.
You don't want your dog getting in the way of you actually, you know, driving the car.
Right, exactly.
I see a lot of people that are just getting climbed over by their dog, and I'm like, they can't possibly see where they're going, or shift. Or,
there's something in the way, and I've got to go a little faster. Excuse me, puppy.
So we do also have barriers that would keep the dog in the back seat.
Okay.
We also have seat belts.
Oh, good.
So there.
Seat belts. I've never actually seen a pet in the seatbelt, but that would probably be a fun little thing. If you are taking your pet on vacation in the car and you put the seatbelt on the pet, please send us a picture. I would so like to see that.
Yeah.
And you know, your pets also get a little stressed out, I think, with the holiday uproar, and I think there have to be some things that we can do to comfort them, even not so much in the traveling zones, but when they're just back at a hotel or back at the house with you when you have guests over. What are some of the things to calm them?
Well, yeah, I mean, pets definitely pick up on your stress. One of the biggest thing is just try and keep your schedule with the dog.
Okay.
Try and stick to feeding and walking. Try to bring in some cuddle time. Definitely.
Aww.
You know, don't give that up. That's very, very good, very calming for the animals. So.
And what about when there's a lot of people around? Because obviously you can't stick to your exact routine as it normally is, but if you have a lot of guests coming over, let's say on Christmas Eve or on or New Year's or whatever, and everybody's around and the dog is seeing all the, you know, everything going around. I mean, I've seen that. And how do you keep, in that kind of atmosphere, how do you keep your pet calm?
Definitely. We do have a lot of really awesome products that I've used before.
Okay.
Gotten a lot of really good feedback, especially from the Comfort Zone.
Okay, what's that?
This is actually a pheromone that is released. This is a plug-in. Actually, that's the spray. Okay. But it does also come in a plug-in style.
Like the way you would plug in for the scenting, you know, for the scents of the room?
Oh, yep. Wow. So it's a plug-in diffuser that puts off an appeasing pheromone. We have it for cats and for dogs.
Okay.
It's a really wonderful product.
That's great.
We also have collars that do pretty much the same thing. These are the good behavior collars. We have this for cats and dogs.
Okay.
It's all natural. It's the pheromones, once again, along with scents of chamomile and lavender to help calm them on just a regular basis. So
see, that's so interesting.
yeah, so you could use that for the full season. You know, a lot of animals get really stressed out about you being in and out of the house, shopping and parties, and so, you know, I would suggest those are two things that you can definitely use throughout the whole season.
It's great because I think what happens is, you know, we all think, what can we do to relax? And, you know, even the other day I had Kathy here from Pardo Salons, and she was saying, you know, you need to stay calm, you need the lavender, you need to go to spas, you need to do all these things. But we don't think about, even though there are certain things that don't work for the pet that would work for you, there are some things that will.
Right,
and that's
for
one
sure.
of them. That's such good advice. And I think people also have a lot of concerns, especially this time of year, about things that could be poisonous, like poinsettias and holly and things like that. So tell us what to avoid, because this is really important.
Definitely.
You can see right on the screen. I mean, there's the poinsettias, and a lot of people have those in the house this time of year.
Right, right, and for sure you don't want your animals getting into them.
Right.
But honestly, the most dangerous is the mistletoe.
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe is definitely the most dangerous.
Why?
It is. It's a hallucinogen, and a lot of times it can cause shortness of breath, even cardiovascular collapse in animals. So if your dog or cat or child gets any bit of that, eats any of it, for sure seek medical attention for the dog right away. So
Rachel, that is such good advice. What about holly?
Holly is also very dangerous. A lot of times things like poinsettia and holly, just they'll cause weakness, salivating, vomiting, things like that. You just want to keep those out of the way of the animals. Other things to avoid would be eucalyptus, macadamia nuts, lilies. A lot of places give lilies, but all of these things, you know, they cause pretty much the same thing. It's just an irritant.
What about the figs? Yeah.
Figs are another big one. So yeah, dark chocolate is another one that you really want to avoid.
Absolutely, and that's a tough one, you know, because those macadamia nuts, the chocolate, that's on the table. People are out there at the parties, they're eating, and they want to. I've said it to you before. They want to get in with the dog. They think that's a good thing to do. It's a very bad thing to do. You are doing a disservice to that pet, and certainly to the family as well, because they get affected by the pet's problem. So
yeah.
Wow, see, now that to me was so valuable, because I would never have known that, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are decorating their homes, they have pets, the pet's not acting as normal, and they're thinking, what's wrong? What's happening? So now you know. So please do avoid these things. And you can now see where you can find Clark's Pet Emporiums in Albuquerque right here on the screen. And that is so helpful, Rachel. Thank you so much. Because I think people really need to know these things. And all of the professionals, including Rachel at Clark's, are always ready to help you answer your pet questions. And we thank you so much for being here. And happy holidays.
Oh, happy holidays.
Thank you so much for helping us.